Hey, 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 it is your favorite coach, Coach Tamika James. I am here to interview this amazing entrepreneur. She has been doing some amazing things in her life and in her business, and we are here to share with you. So, this podcast is all about you guys getting to know her, getting information, having something that's going to take you to your next level. Now, we're not sure if you're in the business that she's in, but I guarantee you there's something that you can take away from what we're talking about today. So we're going to start our casual conversation. Hello, Julita.
Hello, how are you? Glad to be here.
Yes, I'm so glad that you made it.
Yes.
All right. So let's just jump right in. I'm so excited about who you are and what you do. So I'm just going to have you to tell the people who you are and what you do. I know there's more than one thing that you do. So you can tell us all, or you can tell us the thing that you're most excited about. I'm leaving that up to you.
Ready? Hello, Tamika. Thank you for having me on today. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Julita Marshall, and some people may know me as Julita McGowan. I am a serialpreneur, business alignment professional. I have two businesses. A construction company in which we dig holes. My husband and I started that 2018. And I'm also a business alignment professional. I help entrepreneurs and small businesses establish businesses credibly for business credit and more. And last year, 2020, we reached our goal, which was to have $1 million prior to our 3rd year anniversary. And currently, I'm working on some ebooks, do-it-yourself credit repair, as well as structuring a webinar.
So still on your grind, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. I love it so much. Well, now that we know about the businesses that you guys have started, which one is really like your baby? Which one do you really like hold more near and dear to your heart?
It is the business alignment coach, OBG Wealth, and which is Opulence Business Group. OBG Wealth is my tag for our IG. And I came into that because of the construction company. Okay. Because he started, he's like, hey, I want to do this. Let's get ready, and we took a route that I didn't think we were ready to take. But he started getting all the financing in his own name. So he didn't even establish the business credit yet. And I said, I started doing some research when we started having issues with maintenance in some of our vehicles that we purchased. I said, we need, some capital here. Every time we sign a contract, the terms were 30 to 45 days out. And when you have a construction company, that's normal for you to have 30 to 40 days out, sometimes 60 days. So we looked into getting a factoring company that worked out well. And then also going back to him doing that first, that's when I ran across a program which gave me the blueprint to establish business credit credibly and to release some of our personal finances. And we're able to establish business credit that way to use some of the business funding.
Now, you use this term, establish business credit credibly.
Yes.
What does that mean? Like, I think there's a lesson in there. So let's jump into some of the lessons. Like, what does that mean? And how does it relate to the average everyday entrepreneur who's like just getting started?
Yes, I definitely can share my experience with that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when I started, my husband and I, we used our home address. And so when vendors started to look up our address or our business based on our, DUNS, and, give them the EIN, we also had to have a professional email address as well as a digital online presence. So like a website. So when they started doing that and they can just look up our company name and boom, 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 our house popped up. I'm like, we're not having that.
So that's a no-no.
Yes.
That's a no-no, right?
Right. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and change this. And that's when I looked into some virtual addresses and I was able to locate one in Chicago. in which it worked out very well. And so I also had to first update it with the Secretary of State. That took a couple weeks, expedited, unless, I would travel to Chicago to get the forms right in. And then I also had to update it with the IRS.
Okay, now, is it okay to have a virtual address? Were you in Chicago at the time, anywhere near it?
No, I was not near it. No,
I reside. We're in another state.
No, I'm not in another state. I'm about an hour away, 45 minutes to an hour from Chicago. So if we had any mail, I would just take a trip up there and get it once a week or twice a week. Any packages, I would go up the same day. But there was also an additional fee if you wanted your mail forwarded, and I didn't want to pay the additional cost for that. And we used that temporarily until we actually found a location where we can store our trucks and our equipment, just like less than 5 miles from my house.
Okay, so question. If someone gets a virtual address, is it in their best interest to get it as close as possible to them if they're not willing to pay the forwarding fees?
Yes, it is essential that you get it close as possible, because sometimes you may have packages delivered and that particular location for the virtual address may not accept packages. If they do, it's an additional surcharge.
Okay, so as a business, because you list your business address, do you even have packages delivered to another location, like to your home at sometimes? How did you do that?
Yes, I do. Okay. Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I recently received business credit from Amazon, and I had the packages delivered to my home.
Okay, all right. So there's a solution to having the address, but if at certain times you just get them to ship it to a different address.
Yes, that is right. So that was one mistake, but it just takes time. I had to wait weeks for that change to happen as far as updating the address with the Secretary of State. Oh, I think I did it like 2 times. I made a mistake and filled out the wrong paperwork or something. Oh my God. And I'm just wasted $300 expediting it twice to make sure I had it right. But before I established any business credit, I had to make sure I had that right before I move forward. And then also I registered with, to get a DUNS number. You can get one free if you register your business with the sam.gov, which is the government site, to register your business for doing government work. You may not be ready to do it at that time, but it's always good just to have your business registered with them, and it's free and you don't have to pay to get that DUNS number.
Wow. I think the teaching is happening like so naturally right here. I'm so excited. I think that the things that you just told us are going to save like hundreds of thousands of people who will be watching this.
Yes, I hope so.
Yes.
It really is an eye opener, believe me. But yeah.
All right. So this credit thing was like off to the wrong start. And then you figured some things out. So what was going on next? Okay, so you guys started getting how did you get the whole thing with your credit in order? Besides the fact that you fixed the address.
I first started with establishing net 30 accounts. Everybody says they go for the the credit cards and all that. My credit at the time was less than perfect. So I started with net 30 accounts. And
what the heck is net 30?
Net 30 is the number of days you have to pay when you place an order. So if you place an order today, then 21st, it would be due the following month, May 21st.
Okay, so this is in regards to your vendors that you were purchasing from.
Yes.
So you're making these this is an arrangement that you're making with them.
Yes. So no, they actually automatically give you net 30-day terms.
Automatically.
Yes, automatically. So that's when you're starting to establish a relationship with them. So I started with the regular ones, you hear everywhere, Uline, Granger, Quill, Sonoma, T-shirt business. And then also there's one called Supply Works, which you can sign up to have a Builder Pro card. They are also net 30-day terms, but once you get the Pro card, you can actually use that for fuel. So we had Pro card, business card for fuel, because we have trucks and we need it for diesel and everything like that. And we have about 10 employees. So when they need to fuel up anywhere, they were able to use it anywhere with no restrictions. And those terms for the fuel cards, majority of them are net 14 days or 15 days. So you may get some net 7, net 14, or net 20.
All right, now let's before we go further, you named a few companies, and why are you naming these companies? I know that there's something in there. I already know what it is, but I want you to tell them, why are you selecting these specific companies?
Selecting them because they're really easy accounts to get. I know at the time you could just place an order and they're like, okay, pay by invoice. They'll email you the invoice and you make sure you pay it on time. So, but now I believe with Quill, they will want you to place a couple orders with them and pay at the time the order is placed until they establish a relationship with you. But it's easy to obtain with no credit check from your business. They just want to make sure that you're established.
Okay, so number one, they're easy to obtain, but isn't there something else where they report?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, they report to Dun & Brad. And let me see. I don't know if they report to Experian or the Business Equifax, but I know for sure they report to Dun & Brad. And once you place 3 or 4 orders, within 60 days, you create a paydex score, which most of the time will be 80. If you're paying prior to the due date, then you possibly could to get 90 if you pay early.
Listen, I know you know your stuff. You are giving it to us right now.
Oh,
I thank you. I'm telling you, you're saving some lives right now. Like,
thank you.
These are some things that I didn't know in the beginning. So I'm just really glad that you're able to just spit them out and someone can hear this and really get started if they're paying attention.
Yes, that's if they're paying attention. Yes.
Right. Okay. So let's see. Let's go further down this journey. Okay. So you started getting, this is a part of building your business credit.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
With less than perfect credit of your personal credit. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yes, you're on the personal side right now.
Yes. This is all, you're building business credit because at the time, my husband, he was able to get the business cards, but he didn't go that route. He actually uses personal credit for other loans, personal loans to get finance equipment and things of that nature. And I was like, wait, he didn't want to wait until I actually did some research on everything. And it was too late by the time I found out this route to build the business credit so we can get financing on our own business alone without using a PG or anything like that.
What's the PG?
Personal guarantee. I'm sorry. Without getting a personal guarantee. Sorry.
All right. Yes. Okay. So guys, there are some acronyms that you definitely need to learn and make sure that you carry them with you so you can spit them back out yourself.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Okay. So you guys are, all right, we're going further down this journey. So tell me, how did you get to the point of, now that you fixed your credit, you built it up, and you got to where you needed to be? What does this credit do for you?
Oh, goodness. The credit is excellent. However, I did not know how to leverage my credit, just yet, but I'm still learning when working on that. What I have done is when it came to our credit and our the business itself, the revenues that we were bringing in order for us to maintain some capital, for our payroll and for, our monthly expenses and things of that nature. We looked at Mca Loans, which is also called Merchant Cash Advance Loans. Now, some of those are kind of high and they don't like to, a lot of companies may not like to use them, but they are good when you actually need the money. I have a saying, always get the money when you don't need it, because when you need it, you can have it, because it's hard to get it when you can't get it. It's hard to get it. Yeah, it really is.
Wow. Okay. I haven't heard that, but it makes so much sense because you get it while you can. And then when you actually figure out what you need it for, then you have it, but you don't really know that you need it because you haven't grown your business to that position yet. But you're going to need money, right? Is that the thing? Everyone should know you're going to need it somewhere at some point in time for something.
Yeah. So what we do is we have a system, my husband and I, we have a system in place where we can actually go in and see what type of receivables we'll be receiving over the next 30 to 60 days. And we're always looking at projections of what work we're going to be receiving based on the contract renewals that we have. So we kind of know if the work is there for us. We are actually subcontractors. We are not prime. So we're actually waiting for someone else to get the work and make sure they have the permits and everything in place in order for us to do the work. So we are waiting for someone else. And we did run into an issue. Okay.
Oh, look, okay,
Yes, we did
listen.
run into an issue.
Wait, I want to label this something right now,
Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you to tell us a bedtime story, because I feel like the things that have gone on in the business that
Mm-hmm.
people need to hear, that they don't want to actually run into, it's a
Right.
bedtime story. So
It
go ahead and tell
is.
us a bedtime
Okay.
story.
Yes. Well, there's a situation where we needed funds. We did not know in our first year where the what do you call it? Year end. You know, everyone has their year end. Our year end cycle ends in December. Well, the utilities, you know, their year end ends in September. So everything slows down. Everything slows down to almost to a halt where there's no work. But we still had employees, we still had bills that we needed to pay. So that's when it depended on the merchant cash advance companies. As a matter of fact, well, the merchant cash advance companies, they will give you money if you provide them with 3 months of bank statements, and they want to look at your bank statements to ensure that you're receiving funds every week or every other week, how you're, making deposits. And
Okay.
based on those deposits, that's when they will give you money. So once we sought out the companies that we wanted to work with, our terms were daily. We didn't really like it too much, but we were trying to establish a relationship with them. So we used the money and we would have to pay them daily. So there's a electronic ACH attached to our bank account, and they would take the funds out daily. So we did that a couple times, and to the point where now they're calling us and say, "Hey, you need any money this month?" No, that's okay, we're good, and to the point where they'll do it weekly. And so we didn't, we no longer needed any of those services, but we did it about 2 or 3 times in which we really needed to pay our employees as well as maintenance for our equipment. And as just a matter of fact, I have a couple, one right here that came in the mail, and this is for a maximum credit availability of $5 million. So I called them and I'm like, I really don't need the money, but thank you. I just wanted to see what the structure was, and it is daily or weekly, depending on the relationship you have with that particular company. So I receive them all the time. But just know they are out there, and they look at your revenue. They don't look at your business credit, and they don't look at your personal credit. So so if you have a product that sells or markets every day, you can use that service and just mark up the price to kind of cover the cost of that particular loan with them.
So when you're speaking of the fact that they look at your history,
Mm-hmm.
does that say that people should stop trying to hide money? What does that mean?
Oh, hide the utilization? No, it has nothing to do with utilization.
No, hiding
Oh,
money. I'm speaking of, they're looking at your bank statements and they're looking at the fact that you've had this many transactions for these particular reasons. So they're able to give you, to fund you based on your past activity. So what I'm saying is, if you didn't have things running through your bank account, you wouldn't see the money that was coming through based on what your past activity was.
Right. No, don't hide the activity. They want to see it. They want to see it, especially the deposits. So if you have deposits going in, leave the money in there, because they're going to look at your last deposit balance. And they said, hey, if we're giving this person $10,000 and they got to pay us $3,333 a month, and their ending balance is only $1,500, they can't afford us. So they're looking also at that end balance too, every month, to make sure they will get their money.
All right. Okay. Makes sense. So now you move further down and you get to the point of assisting other people.
Yes.
What happened? Like, did you have like an aha moment? You woke up one day and you were like, I have to blank. Like, what happened? And tell me which way you went.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Once I found about this opportunity as far as business credit, I went crazy. I told my family, my friends, my nieces, my nephews, my kids about business credit, because prior to us establishing these other businesses, my husband and I were in snow plowing, and we did snow plowing for 16 years, and we didn't know anything about this. So we work our regular jobs, and then his job was, since he was working outside all the time, that particular company he was with would lay him off during the winter months. So he went into snow plowing, and that's what he did for 16 years. So he had his own trucks. He had his own, employees that would work for him.
Where's this man? I need a man like that. He just keeps going. He's like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'll just do this when I'm down. Okay.
Yes, he is a hustler. Okay.
We need a clone of him. We need another one of him.
Yes. He is definitely a hustler. And but that's what he did. And, we made really great money from doing that, but we didn't know anything about the business credit. And I often asked, hey, how are these other companies maintaining, when something goes wrong or something like that? And then later on, I found out about the SBA 7A loans. And of course, the EIDL and the PPP that were, everyone is pretty much taking advantage of. So we also utilized that. We used the PPP and the EIDL, and I was able to get the $150,000. So now I'm going to go back and get that rest of that $350,000 that's available.
You're speaking of the EIDL?
Yes.
Okay, because I know on a lower level, if people receive 10,000, if they got less than 10,000, they can go back for the rest of the 10,000.
Right.
That was the only one I heard about. I didn't hear about a 350,000 and all of that. Wow. Okay.
Yes, you can. They increased it. So you should have received a targeted advance email. I received one of those because initially we had like 6 or 7 employees at the time. And then so they want you to complete this email and the forms and stuff to receive the remaining, which I'm not gonna bother because I just got our second round of PPP. But I'm gonna start completing the application. Well, I haven't completed the application. They have to send me an email. I have to be invited to complete the application to get the remaining $350,000.
Okay.
I have to request it.
Yeah. There's so much that everyone needs to read to understand what's going on.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely. All right. So how did you begin to help people with credit? Like exactly what happened and where are you now with that?
Yes, I helped. The first person I helped was a relative, my sister-in-law, and she started a business with her husband, repairing damaged cars, I guess, wrecked cars. I don't know what you call it, auto body type services. So she had immaculate credit, which is called she qualified for a hybrid program. So anyone that has a score of 680 with no negative information on their credit report, and at least a couple credit cards with at least $2,000 or $3,000 limit, you can get $150,000, up to $150,000 in credit, business credit. So she did not want that much. She was really intimidated by the amount, so she got $70,000 in business credit for the business. And so, but she went on to tell all of her other relatives as well. And I encouraged her to. And while we just did it by word of mouth, I just let, hey, friends and family know this is what you need. This is all you need. People that I know in my immediate circle did not have A1 perfect credit yet, so to qualify, but they're still working on it. But I'm still encouraging them to do so. And I have sold many packages that will help them along the way. And the blueprint with Opulence Business Group, we have 5 days a week. We have someone available for you to speak with regards to the business credit or any issues or anything like that you may have with the program. And they can answer all of your questions.
Okay, so someone signs up. There are different packages according to what they actually need.
Yes.
All right.
That is correct.
And then you have people who are assisting them with things. What kind of things do they need assistance with after they've gotten started?
After they've gotten started, they may, there's a drop-down menu where you would actually select, hey, do you have your EIN? It's like a checklist, but they also want you to enter the information to confirm that it's completed. So they'll ask you for, you know, the business address, phone number, EIN, professional email address, website. And if you need a, what do you call it? You know, like PayPal or Stripe, you know, or something like that. They'll ask if you need something like that set up to make sure that's set up. And then you start with the tier one credit cards. And I should say net 30 accounts. So, and it's always updating and always changing. So the list they provide actually gives you detailed information, what bureau they pull from, or if they are looking, what terms, and you click a button that says learn more, and it gives you everything that you need. They have a list there as well for you to check. It would show your business name, how long in business, EIN, and things of that nature. And if you give me a second, I can actually bring one up to kind of show you.
Oh, awesome.
Second. You may not be able to see my full screen, but
we're getting a bonus today, guys.
And the thing about this is that it gives you pretty much everything, where if you have questions, you really shouldn't have many, but we still have someone who can answer your questions at any time. So let me just pull it up here. Okay. Right. So this is what it is, where you can actually set up your business credibly. So the first step is to set your business name. And I already have it checked off, but I want to, okay, here it is. Yeah. So it kind of just goes into, do you have a business name? It gives you some information. And this is the business name that I have connected with this blueprint. And then you could use this for any and every business that you have. And then they have resources to help you get that set up. And then you have your business address.
Now, who is they?
The blueprint, the service, the company that I work with, Opulence Business Group. So this is a software that is really great if you want to do your virtual addresses. So it kind of helps you in that manner to get everything done. It's the software that's used to streamline your process. So everything.
Okay, so
here.
this is not only about credit. This is about setting your business up properly.
Right. But then once you get to the tiers here, and then it will help you. These are the tiers. That's when you start working with how many trade lines you need to have in order to report to move to the next phase. And these are some of the trade lines you would be able to qualify without guessing. Because a lot of times people say, what's next? What's next? This tells you everything what you need. It lets you know how many trade lines you have to have before you can move on to the next level. So yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the next tier, that was tier 1. This is tier 2. So this is the tier 2. You would be able to qualify once you get, you have 3 or more, but I believe it probably have more than that. But yeah, so I have 13 trade lines reporting. So, but these are all available. A lot of them are fuel cards and things of that nature. But like I said, this actually gets updated by the team. And so it can always change. But that's what you'll be getting with me, with my program and the blueprint. And you would have this for each and every business that you would establish. You would follow the same blueprint and it will not fail you. So, yep.
Tell us a little bit about trade lines.
Okay. Trade lines, they are, they show up on your business reports, either Dun& Brad's, Business Experian, or Business Equifax. Those are the trade lines. And the trade lines can be revolving, net 30, or financing. And I think I was going to try to do like a sample credit report, but I didn't have that ready. So, but they actually can show up, and most of the time they will report every 30 days. So you have to make sure whatever bills that you're paying, pay them on time, no matter what.
What is this that I hear when I hear people getting trade lines from people?
Oh, that's for personal credit. Yes.
Okay.
That is for personal credit. I actually don't do those. However, I have helped my family members out with some of my trade lines, like my daughters and my brother. So I do offer that just, for family. But yeah, that does help to add and boost their scores up.
Tell us, how does that work exactly? Because I know people are wondering, some that don't know what is a trade line? How does it actually happen?
Okay, the trade lines, actually, what you're doing with the trade line, you are using that person's credit history from the date it was originated. So,
so the date that they got a credit card or something.
Yes. Okay, so if my daughter was 25 and I had a 10 or 12 year history of a credit card for Citibank or something like that, I would just add the card on to her credit report. I will call them and say, hey, I'd like to add an authorized user. Mm-hmm. And they would ask for her information, but I would still receive the card here at the house.
So you don't give the other person the card?
No.
Okay.
And I
wanted to make sure people were clear, because you're adding this person on. There is a card.
Yes, there is a card.
But they don't get it.
That's right. It comes directly to me, and I put it up or cut it up or whatever the case may be. I do not activate it. And then when sometimes when you go online, you can see you want to activate this card. And I usually just say, no, it's not activated, but the history will still report. And she could actually at that time take advantage when her scores go up to apply for other major credit cards that will help boost her score.
All right. And that's one of the things that it's all about, to assist the person until they get strong enough to be able to go do it on their own.
Yes, that is right. That is so true.
So can you tell me, when it comes to trade lines, do people give other people several trade lines?
Yes. Yes. You can have a combination of trade lines, 2 to 3 of them, depending on the age and the limit. Yes. So depending on the person's age too, because I think that if my daughter is 18 or 25 or whatever, and I've had an account open for 10 years, I think that's too, she'll be 8 years old. If I'm using the age of 18, hypothetically, that's that hypothetical, someone that's 10 years old, I don't think they would look at that kind of strange a little bit. So I would try to use one closer to maybe 15 or 16. But there are some people who actually do that when they're helping their children out to establish their credit.
Okay. So in the world of real business, not we're off the family and friends thing at this point.
Yes.
So the way that you do it is you get someone in, you sit them down, you assess where they are, I would assume, and then you start to figure out what it is that they actually need. So when you assist them with the trade line, just tell us just a little bit about how that works real quick.
Yes, I actually review their credit reports just to see where they're at and see what is actually needed. I look at the limit and I also look at the age, because I believe the age needs to be at least 7 to 10 years average. So if you're looking at that that way as a young adult, we would try to get something for them, a trade line between 10 to 15 years to bring that average up.
Okay, now I would love for you to get a little deep on us and tell us, people are trying to do this on their own, right? And some people do have a little success, right? They're
right, they do.
In the building, they have some success. But tell me the difference in them doing it on their own. We don't really want to talk about that, but why do they need you, and what types of things do you provide as far as them needing to come to you and just give it away to you, like let you do your job? What is
Yes.
it that you're doing?
Well, the thing that I am doing is I'm actually showing the way that they could do it. They may have some information. They may take some bits and pieces here and there and try to make it work and still fail. But if they come to me, I'll be able to set them straight and give them an outline of the things that they need to do to succeed. And that's what we want. Everyone wants to succeed in their business, and they have to start with their personal credit. And it works hand in hand, personal credit and business credit. It does work hand in hand.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So now that we have established that they actually need you and they need to stop doing it on their own, there's something that I heard about, which is like a person who they'll get their credit to a certain position and they feel like it's good enough, but then they fail because there are things that are still happening on the back end that they're not really aware of, things that you handle, like pulling things, getting things off of their credit and writing letters and contacting. You do all of that stuff?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have a DIY book coming out, and it would provide templates. It would provide templates for disputes, charge-offs, late pays, collections. Because, I did my own. I actually got my student loans off a couple of years ago. And that's a really easy process to do. But I was able to do that. And I was really surprised that I did it. I was like, oh, wow, they came off. Because, sometimes your student loans, although mine were deferred, so I wasn't paying them. They weren't late, no big thing. They was just still off to the side, but it affected my debt to income ratio and the installment balance that I had on my credit report. So I actually disputed it and they actually came off, although I still owe, but I was able to successfully remove them, which was such a good relief. And I know sometimes people may say, hey, your student loans are on there for a reason because they've been on there for a long time. I think maybe since 2008. Hey, that's some of the age credit history that's gone, not necessarily if you establish, credit during that same time frame, you would still have that trade line there too.
All right.
But try to obtain a trade line to go back that far if you feel you lost that.
Thank you. I mean, you have been a tremendous help to me. Just listening to all of these tips and tactics, I can only imagine. I'm so serious. I can only imagine what someone who is listening is actually being able to grab and use. But they definitely have to contact you because you are the one that knows your stuff. Yes. You say it like it's done with such ease, but I know that there's work to be done. I know that. So
yes,
I thank you for being you. I thank you for going through all of the things that you've gone through for all of the years to be able to give this information to us right now. So you have a book that's coming out. How soon is that going to be coming out?
Ooh, I'm working on it. It's a work in process right now. I'm just working on the landing page. So I'm still having my editor kind of tweak it a little bit to make sure I'm sending the correct message. So, and have it copywritten and everything. So, that will be out. Let me see. I will say about the second week in May. Give me a month, 30 days. Yes.
All right. Not bad. Not too far from now. So I'm sure people can wait because their credit is not going to be fixed overnight anyway.
Right. That's true. It takes time. It really does. And you got to have patience. It is not an overnight thing. And so, it took me about 2 years to do everything that I needed to do. So it got me to a place where I'm really happy and satisfied.
Now, it took you 2 years, but on average, a person that doesn't really have a lot of things going on their credit, they just need a little bit of assistance. Normally, how long does it take to get them to a good position?
I would say maybe 90 days to 6 months, but you have to be persistent too and consistent. So, if once you receive that response back from the bureaus, you got to reply right away. And take action and don't just let it fall. And I actually let some of my stuff kind of to the wayside, had other stuff going, I forgot about them, but I still have my documentation of my, I got some stuff right here. these cards here, the green cards, for disputes. So you still have to continue to do that and be diligent about it, and you will get results.
All right, awesome. So I feel like you gave us some lessons already.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you taught us some stuff.
Oh, thank you, Tamika.
Is there anything you could think of
mm-hmm.
that someone who's in business, they're getting started? Mm-hmm. Are there any things that you've done besides what you share with us? Or is there anything that they should know to like really get started on the right track and stay on the right track? I mean, anything that you could think of.
Yes, I say anyone who has a 9-to-5 job, stay on that 9-to-5 job until you have your business idea in place, your business plan, things that you want to do. Check out and research some of the systems that you want to use. Check out your competitors. Start gathering your content, your data for your social media page to help build your audience. And so that's what I'm doing now, rebuilding my audience. I started this business back in 2018, and then I had a sabbatical, took the time away to take care of my mother and my brother. They are both deceased now. They passed away, last year. But so now I'm just revving back up again. And so that's why I say someone who's just starting, if you have a 9-to-5, stick with it and do this on the side until you can build your audience, and all the systems in place so you can be successful as well.
Speaking of the family members that are not here anymore, and you having a business and having to kind of shift, is there anything that you can think of going back to that time that you could have done in any way differently to keep everything rolling a little more smoothly? Anything. Because I know that's a tough, that's a tight spot, a tough place to even take yourself back to. But I think there's something in it that someone needs to hear, because things start to shut down because of death in the family and tragic things and things that the unforeseen things. Is there anything in there that you could have done differently that would have kept things moving just a little bit more than they did?
Well, I think I should have had a third party kind of rev up and kept my content out there consistently for me. But that's the only thing that I could see that I did not have. And I did not have a system in place because I was using Facebook ads, and I ran them for a very short time in December. But that was, but all through that time, I was also going to schools. I'm a software engineer too. So I was thinking that I would be able to build and create apps for what I wanted, along with the business and the construction business too. So I was really doing the most. But I think having the systems in place, having someone to assist you like a virtual assistant, I did not have that. It was just me. I'm trying to do everything. So, but now I know you have to have an assistant to assist you in those types of things, because it definitely can free up some of your time where you can focus on the larger tasks that really matter.
That was good.
Yeah.
Good. I was like, I hope that she doesn't end up going back to that place and break down right now. But yeah. I just believe that there was something that someone needed to hear, because what you just spoke about that you had to go through is some real stuff.
Yes,
and no one can ever predict it. We're never going to be able to predict that.
Nope. You are so right. You are so right. But but having the processes is good.
Yes, thank you. That was good. Whew.
Yes.
But this has been amazing.
Yes.
I know that you are really excited about the businesses that you're in.
Yes.
So please share your information with everyone right now, exactly how they get in touch with you. And then we'll get ready to close out. I'm happy.
Yes.
Great interview.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, I can be reached. My IG is at OBG_wealth. Okay, that's my Instagram. And my website page is opulencebizgroup.com. All right, that's opulencebizgroup.com. I also have a Facebook group, which is OBG Wealth, I believe, OBG Master Plans, I think. I can't remember what it is, but if you follow me at OBG_wealth, you can schedule an appointment free consult. I'm sorry.
Consult, yeah.
Schedule an appointment for a free consult, and I will be able to assess your credit and business credit needs at that time.
Awesome. You said assess it, because people don't know where they are. They probably don't even know exactly where they're going. So they can't fix it themselves.
Right.
And I'm so grateful that you're here to do it. And I can tell that you have a lot of passion behind what you actually do. So I just want to say thank you for sharing your story with us today. Is that construction business still rolling?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I do. And a lot of times in the morning, I know we're on the morning meetup in the mornings, but a lot of times I don't show my face because I'm still, doing things on that. In the morning, I dedicate some of that time to the construction company. And then after that, I can focus on the OBG wealth strategies. So
you also have a system in place for how you, your time management.
Yes, I have to have that too.
I love
different hats. Yes.
That's very important. So, the only reason that you can do all of these things is because you've lived a little bit. You have some systems in place. You understand the people and the things that you actually need. And you do have some time management skills. So, just keep going. And we're going to definitely stay connected. So I pray that everyone who is watching is going to get in touch with you to get what they need to get to where they need to go to, because we can't do it alone. So thank you so much, Miss Julita.
Thank you, Coach Tamika. I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me on your channel. It's greatly appreciative, and you're a great coach, great interviewer too.
Thank you. All right. Well, bye now, everyone. Till next time.
Bye.
Entrepreneurship is something amazing. When you figure out exactly what you want to do, determine where you want to go, and then figure out how it's going to happen, and you stay on your grind, you're going to have great success. So stick with us and let's see where you go. Have a great one. To join entrepreneurs on a weekly basis, feel free to join Underground Biz Group. It's a membership that you join and you meet up with entrepreneurs weekly. You learn, you grow, and you expand your business. See you there. It's only $1 for your first week.